shake on it. Ah! You nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
It's Father's Day. And because somehow I keep having kids, this year we're gonna take our annual vasectomy up a notch with Aviation Gin Deadpool edition. Now let me show you how to make it. First, you're gonna take an ice-filled glass and you're gonna add 1 ounce of cranberry juice. Then, you're gonna add 3 ounces of tonic. Oh, that's Betty Buzz. I wonder what other surprises are in store.
Wait!
Sounds nice. Next, you're gonna grab this little yellow guy and you're gonna give it a squeeze.
Oh.
What you thinking about?
Get the off of me.
If you get a couple of seeds in there, well, then you know you're doing it right. How many kids do you have? And now, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces of Aviation American Gin Deadpool edition. It's the same delicious Aviation Gin, but with 100% more Deadpool. Finally, we're gonna give it a stir. Lovely. We're gonna add this little garnish here. And there you go, Deadpool vasectomy. Pairs perfectly with 2 dads over 40 pretending they're not too arthritic to pull off a superhero movie. Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Ryan Reynolds and Marvel released a new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer with a bunch more Easter eggs and references. Lots of neutering jokes, vasectomy jokes, because we are heading into Father's Day, like it's branded as a Father's Day trailer. There are a bunch more Easter eggs and references, particularly to Lady Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds also joking about not having more kids. He's also joked in the past that he actually conceived both of his children on the sets of the different Deadpool movies while he was filming them. I know there's a ton of questions about who's actually playing Lady Deadpool in the movie, and I actually think that Rob Liefeld soft-spoiled it a couple years ago without meaning to spoil it. Like, at the time he made his post, he didn't think he was giving anything away about Deadpool and Wolverine the movie because they were working on it at the time getting ready to film, but I believe he's since deleted his post, soft confirming that he was actually giving something away. So we'll break it all down. We're also doing that Deadpool and Wolverine ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and post all your predictions in the comments below. The funny thing that also happened in real life is that before Ryan Reynolds dropped this Aviation Gin Deadpool Father's Day vasectomy trailer, the brand actually reached out to me separately from Marvel, like not Marvel themselves, but the Aviation Gin people actually gave me one of these special Deadpool editions of Aviation Gin. If there was some way for me to give this away in one of these videos, I would do it, but it's kind of hard to do because it's alcohol. There's some special rules about that. But it is something that you can actually go out and buy. Real big thing though is Lady Deadpool, way more clear in the recent couple of trailers. This is also a shot of her in the first few trailers with her Uzis. Notice her suit also looks different from Deadpool's suits that we've seen so far in all the movies. Like, she's got totally different leg armor pieces. Her legs just look different, like they look more feminine. And she uses Uzis instead of regular handguns like Deadpool. Deadpool gets some Golden Desert Eagles later in the trailer, I believe. I think they're Desert Eagles. I'm not a huge gun expert. He's got a couple different guns that he uses during the movie. But in her new scene, it looks like she's walking through a Doctor Strange-style sling ring portal, the same type of portal that Deadpool and Wolverine escape through when they're jumping out of Ant-Man's dead eye hole trying to get away from Alioth before it consumes everything. Even though I think that particular scene is very misleading the way they cut it into the trailer, like, not everything you see here is what it seems. Whatever's going on during Lady Deadpool's scene here, when she enters, she's coming through a different portal, like it's meant to be this big reveal, because one of the big things of Deadpool movies is him clowning on action movie tropes, which he does at length during all the trailers, like big slow-motion action scenes, all the cameos, many, many more fourth wall breaks calling out tropes.
So I heard Secret Wars is finally going to introduce... You get reception down here?
I don't have a phone.
Because of the way she's walking, though, the general look of her legs, everybody was just questioning the rumors about Taylor Swift being in the movie, because for a long time there were rumors about her playing a character in the film, having some kind of cameo scene, and because way back in the day, she wore Ryan Reynolds' original Deadpool suit from that first Deadpool movie for Halloween later in 2016. Some of you probably remember this back when it actually first happened, because everybody was going crazy on social media like, what does this mean? Is she going to be in the Deadpool movies at some point? Why is she wearing the Deadpool costume? The whole reason why this happened is because she's friends with Ryan Reynolds in real life. Like, she's been friends with him for a long time through Blake Lively. Like, Blake Lively is Taylor Swift's friend, so tangentially, Ryan Reynolds became friends with her. But it's mostly because of his relationship with his wife. That's why you saw them hang out at all the Chiefs games, because Blake Lively was hanging out with Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds was just there with his wife. Way back when that first Deadpool movie came out, he just lent the actual Deadpool suit from the movie that he wore to her for a little while for that Halloween photo shoot. But here's the thing, I actually think there's some proof, or way stronger evidence, that Lady Deadpool in the movie is going to be Blake Lively. One of the other drinks that he uses to mix into his vasectomy gin drink is Betty Buzz, which is Blake Lively's brand of drinks that she sells on the side too. She made a whole bunch of Deadpool posts when the first trailer came out, like this is her actually celebrating the release of the trailer. They met way back on the first Green Lantern movie in 2011. She played Carol Ferris. They got married before he made the first Deadpool movie. He said they conceived their first child while he was filming that first movie on set. Now here's where we get to the actual evidence that I think it's Blake Lively. A couple years ago, based on the timestamp on this post, March 9th, 2022, so about the time they're getting ready to start actually filming the movie, Rob Liefeld posted to his Instagram, I believe this is Instagram, the very long message about how amazing he thought Blake Lively was and how she originally inspired him to create Lady Deadpool in the comics back in 2010 based on her appearance in Gossip Girl. This would have been long before she met and started going out with Ryan Reynolds, long before they ever got married, had children together. All because Rob Liefeld and his wife were fans of Gossip Girl in real life. So like late 2009, he gets the idea to create Lady Deadpool in the comics and bases her character on Blake Lively's character from Gossip Girl. That's why during this post here, he's quoting Serena van der Woodsen, because that's the character she played on Gossip Girl. The character debuted in Deadpool Merc with a Mouth #7 in January 2010. That was around the time that they actually started filming the Green Lantern movies. Like, she'd met Ryan Reynolds by that point. But remember, it takes a couple months for them to actually make the comic books, so he would have gotten the idea and asked Marvel for clearance to do that a couple months before that in late 2009. Based on his post here, he didn't actually know her personally at the time. Like, he just saw her on the Gossip Girl TV show and thought she would be cool as Lady Deadpool. Created the character, so didn't need to get any special likeness rights or anything like that, because she has her mask on most of the time like Deadpool usually does, so it's not like you actually saw Blake Lively's face in the Deadpool comics. But it's a bit like the story of how Deadpool made jokes about Ryan Reynolds years before Ryan Reynolds decided to play the character in the Wolverine Origins in the first Deadpool movie. He actually saw the references years before that all went down, then was inspired to actually eventually play the character. And remember, even though the creation of Lady Deadpool based on Blake Lively happened way back in 2009, 2010, he's telling the story in 2022 right before they get ready to film the movie, saying that if they were, quote-unquote, to do Lady Deadpool in live action, it should probably be Blake Lively. I think there's a pretty good chance that eventually he found out that they were going to do that, like, oh yeah, we're going to do Lady Deadpool in the movie, why don't we just make it Blake Lively? And that's probably why he deleted the post. Like, oh crap, this is kind of a spoiler now. Since we got a better look at Lady Deadpool in the trailers, there have been some photo edits of people comparing both Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's bodies with the legs. And to be honest, Blake Lively looks like she fits those legs way better, just the posture, way better than Taylor Swift. There have also been some recent reports that Taylor Swift isn't going to have any kind of cameo or appearance during the movie at all. Marvel was talking to her about some completely different project that is non-Deadpool related. During the video, though, when he jokes about how he keeps having more kids, needs to stop that, thus the vasectomy drink, in reality, he did conceive each of his daughters on the sets of the previous Deadpool movies. In another recent video, he actually joked with Hugh Jackman that he did not want to make a ton more Deadpool movies like Deadpool 8 because he didn't want to have 8 children. For those of you hearing that, worried that he's not going to do more Deadpool movies after Deadpool 3, the plan right now for him is that during the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, they'll set up Avengers Secret Wars in some kind of teaser scene or like a post-credit scene and tease him coming to the MCU legit, even though technically the movie does cross over with the MCU because of the TVA. There's all those references that he makes to the MCU, to Kevin Feige, to Disney. Like, it's already kind of in the MCU to begin with, but it's a big multiverse film, so it's not quite the same thing as, say, like Captain America 4, which is firmly set on Earth, like a very grounded movie. But he is eventually coming to the MCU proper on a permanent basis. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine also supposed to stick around until Secret Wars as the main version of Wolverine, but I think eventually they will recast the Wolverine character with somebody different when they start doing all the reboot X-Men films after Marvel's big reboot in Secret Wars. They're also bringing back Scarlet Witch as part of Avengers 5, Avengers 6, like all this craziness the next several years. She's supposed to cross over with some of those X-Men films in the future too. So it just sounds like they plan on doing a lot more of the crossovers that they were going to do before, but couldn't because Fox owned all the characters up to the last several years. My early prediction right now, because they're already talking about doing Thor 5, and if Deadpool and Wolverine is like the third Deadpool movie and it's so successful as people expect it to be, like if it does get close to $1 billion, of course, they will make Deadpool 4 at some point. Think about it this way, if they wait till after Secret Wars, Deadpool can also clown on the fact that they rebooted the MCU. He's even making jokes about rebooting the MCU during his first trailer here too. That's one of the beauties of the Deadpool character is that like they can do anything they want behind the scenes at Marvel. It can get as crazy, as confusing as they want, as long as Deadpool is there to call them out on their bullshit. He's sort of like the character that takes the piss out of everything. But I think aside from that, like they're not going to make 8 Deadpool movies. He would just cross over with other big Avengers films, other big characters films, like I said, and those upcoming X-Men films too, when they do the big reboot versions, recast all the actors after Secret Wars. I know there's going to be a ton of questions about this too. Like if Marvel's going to reboot things, like how many actors will get recast? What are they changing? What's going to stay the same? There probably will be some legacy actors, like the classic X-Men actors, that still continue post-reboot and continue to play their characters. Supposedly Wolverine isn't even supposed to be in that brand new X-Men movie that they're working on right now that's going to take place after Secret Wars. Like that's how long they're waiting. So it'd be like 6 or 7 years, potentially even longer, before we see a new MCU Wolverine. If there's any other Easter eggs or references that you spotted in the trailer that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments, and everybody just post your reactions in the comments below just in general. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. We have House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 1 coming in a couple days. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Click here for my non-spoilery review of Episode 1, and click here for that Deadpool and Wolverine Juggernaut trailer too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.